Pep Talk UK. It's time!
Everyone talk good game, but it don't really faze me. The man that ain't mad like Max, the boy not murky like Ace B. And them gal walk the slide on the back balling like a baby.
Oi, oi. Welcome to the Pep Talk UK Sports Podcast, the podcast that talks the major boxing and football news from around the globe, real points of view from a real panel. Hashtag real talk on Pep Talk. Please subscribe to Pep Talk UK on iTunes and YouTube. Don't forget to like, share and comment. I'm your host, Frankie B. And as ever, I'm joined by a sick panel. Firstly, I'd like to welcome the French Pep Talk boy from Paris, Pascal. How are ya?
Franck. Comment ça va, mon ami? Comment ça va?
In the building, mate. Comment ça va, mate? How you doing?
Oh, you know, Franck, I'm very well. I'm very well indeed. You know,
you're well. Oh, mate, I am heartbroken, mate. Arsenal took the soul out of me.
Frank, you know, I was trying to forget this nightmare, and thank you for reminding me, but, you know, it's a very, very difficult situation. You know, Frankie B, the problem we have with Arsenal, it's just like, you know, when you go on a date with a sexy girl, she tells you, come to the restaurant with me, you have dinner, you have, dessert, then you go to the house, and then you realize that there's nothing you can do because she's on a period. That's exactly that is exactly what Arsenal are like, you know. Watford were there for the taking, you know, so that we could close the gap against Chelsea. And unfortunately for us, they didn't capitalize on that. It's terrible. I mean, everybody expected Arsenal to beat Watford yesterday. Everybody, you know?
Mate. Even my grandma was like, you're going to beat Watford, aren't you? I'm like, yeah, of course. Easy work. And we flopped the show. Like,
a very big flop.
I got up in the middle of the night and I was singing Boys to Men, mate. End of the road.
It's a very good song, though. It's a very good song.
It was shocking. So, Pascal, you want to shout out your social media?
Yes, of course. I'm available at Pascal_DeSade. You know, I'm on Instagram and Twitter, you know, and please send me a text, you know, and send me a message.
Ooh la la, va-va-voom. Okay, now back in the building is a man that is a US correspondent for the Boxing News magazine UK. You need to put some respect on his name. It's Kenneth Buhari. How you doing, Geese?
I'm good, man. What's going on over there?
We're very, very upset football fans, but hey, I guess you called it soccer.
We do call it soccer, man. And you know what? I'm a very happy boxing fan right now because we've been getting nothing but good stuff since 2017 started. So I'm psyched.
It's going to be lit up. But on another note, what about the Trump era?
You know, I really don't want to discuss that. I'm afraid if I speak on it, I might get deported. I don't know what's going on. So,
you might have to play that. You might have to play that Sean Paul tune. Deport them. You know.
Oh goodness, yeah.
So Ken, do you want to shout out your social media?
Absolutely. You can check me out at K Buhari on Twitter, K Buhari on Instagram. That's K, B as in boy, OUHAIRIE. Always down for some good chatter. Nice.
Now finally, we have from 100% Chelsea adding that blue tint to the podcast this week. It's Louis Beneventi. How you doing, Geese?
Not bad, Frankie. How are you?
Mate, you don't want to know, mate. I've been having nightmares.
I was thinking of Troy Deeney just going in, hitting that little cheeky deflection, in it goes. You know, Aaron Ramsey obviously, you know, causes a lot of problems for you, but, you know, you don't really want to talk about that, do you?
Oh, Ramsey, it's a shame the transfer window shut. I'd like to ship him to another team.
That's not fair. I think Aaron Ramsey's a very good player. I'd blame your medical team. It's their fault.
What about Diego Costa, though? He seems to have knuckled down and forgot about the big offer from China.
We went through this last time. I think it was all just media storm. I don't think it was anything, really. It was something made out of nothing to try and destabilise a team or, you know, just in general, get Chelsea down. But, you know, it's not worked. He's scored goals for us. He's knuckled down. He's been knuckling down since the beginning of the season, Frankie. Yeah. And we've been performing lately, and I'm happy with the results.
I am so jealous. Arsene Wenger. Did you hear what Ty said, Louis, the other night? He said Arsenal lost because of the rain.
Let's be. I think it was a stupid statement, but I'm going to leave it at that. But unlike what Pascal was saying, I get dessert and then extra dessert at home. That's
this is what I'm saying about. This is that Casanova. You see, when you're at the top of the Premiership, this is what happens, man. It all falls into place.
Frankie, Louis is very much, he's an Italian man, and the French, we always rival each other when it comes to women attention, so, he's my nemesis.
It's that Armani suits, man.
Armani, Versace, Prada, everybody's there.
I never wear Prada, that's why I'm so good.
Well, as B.I.G. says, baby, baby. Okay. Ladies and gents, attention please for the fight fans locked in. Attention please for the football fans locked in. Now it's time for some real talk on Pep Talk. Let's go! So we're going to start with the boxing. Carl Frampton rematch took place at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas last weekend, where Santa Cruz avenged his loss last time out to regain the WBA world title. Pascal, many including myself thought Santa Cruz just edged it by 3 rounds. How did you call it?
I completely agree with you, Frankie B. I felt that it was a very, very good fight. I mean, some commentators say it's fight of the year, but to me, the James again, Badujak still very much is that fight for me, just yet, But it was a very controlled performance from Leo Santa Cruz. I felt that Santa Cruz, utilized his distance very well, and the use of the jab was superb, and the first half of the fight, Santa Cruz dominated very well, and also Santa Cruz surprised everybody, Frankie, because
boxing
I expected...
the back foot, yeah.
Of course, for a Mexican, it's unheard of. I mean, if you saw, Mexicans, they like to wear cowboy hats because, they know he's going forward, But I was very surprised, and to me, Leo Santa Cruz showed, very much a technicality in boxing that I didn't expect him to have, and he's a very good all-round fighter, and he had a very good plan, and he frustrated, Carl Frampton. Carl Frampton, there was at times he didn't know what to do, and he was very much surprised at the manner upon which that, Santa Cruz fought. So I'm very, very, I was certainly very well pleased with Santa Cruz's performance. It was a very good fight and he deserved to win.
So you think he put a call into his brother, Tom Cruise, about what to do?
Well, it was never a mission impossible because,
That's cheesy, my friend.
But, of course, I like Camembert, he's very cheesy. But Frankie B, it was always going to be a very good fight. And, whenever these two fighters, meet each other, I honestly believe that it could go either way. It's very difficult to take them apart, Even the first fight was very close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Santa Cruz definitely executed the game plan, which paid off 100%. He watched the last fight and he made some adjustments, and that's what it's all about. Ken, in terms of Santa Cruz's approach this time, Pascal's mentioned some of the adjustments. What do you believe they were, and why do you think they worked?
Well, I think the number one thing that Santa Cruz did that stuck out to me was that he was disciplined. Whatever game plan it was, and he had told Frampton before the fight that he was going to box on his back foot. He said that's what he was going to do. That he was capable. And if you watch Santa Cruz fight, he does little subtle things in there that show you that he's not just a brawler. Mm-hmm. But I was really surprised at how effective his jab was and how he was able to maintain the distance throughout. And he never got baited into a war, which is surprisingly what Frampton wanted. So, but as Pascal said, there's not much that separates the two of these guys. So it wouldn't surprise me if they have a third match and Frampton edges it. You know, it was just a very, very close fight. But I agree. I thought Santa Cruz won, whether you had it by 1 round, 2 round, 3 rounds, no question that he won the fight.
So like 50 Cent says, he switched the style up.
Yeah. And he's going to be collecting he's getting the big bucks now.
But anyway, okay, so on the same bill, we saw the return of Mikey Garcia to win in spectacular fashion against Dejan Zatilin. Is that how it's pronounced, Ken?
It's Zlatkanin.
Wow, I just call him Wash Your Face. Is that right? Wash Your Face. Anyway, it's an impressive win. He's Mikey Garcia, but that was simply spectacular. And all we saw, Ken, was some sweet chin music.
Well, he's, Mikey Garcia, I can tell you, Frankie, he's very, very skilled, and he's got everything. He's probably the best fighter from his fighting family, and that's saying a lot, considering that his big brother was a world champion. And I know that, he's in the past, he mentioned that he's not really in love with boxing. It's just something that he's really good at, but it's not something that he's in love with. But I think you saw those skills on display. There are a lot of fights out there for him that he could take at 135. I wouldn't want him to go to 140 just yet. I think that if he waits a couple more fights, I would love to see him and Robert Easter get it on. I think that would be a great matchup of styles. And I still would like to see his chin tested a little bit. Before he went away for a couple years, he was dropped on 2 separate occasions by guys I didn't think were that powerful. And so I still kind of want to see what happens when he gets tagged a few times, but I wouldn't want to be the fighter that has to go through his arsenal to test that chin.
Ooh. But that was sweet chin music, I must say. Pascal.
Oui.
Pretty impressive, wasn't he?
Very much so, very, very impressive, so much so that Richard Schaefer, believes that he could be the next, face of pay-per-view boxing, I'm not sure about that, because, to be that face, you need to have a bit more character, a bit more flamboyance, and I think that Mickey Garcia is a good guy, he likes to train, and he's not very much a kind of abrasive character, a divisive character that you need in boxing,
and he's got a lot of consideration for his opponents,
He certainly has, yes, he certainly has. But look, as Khaled said, and as we saw Saturday, he's a very, very skillful fighter, and the manner in which he dispatched his opponent was very impressive, and he certainly has made, a comeback. That was a very good comeback fight for him, and I would like to see him in other fights, but a lot of people are saying that perhaps the 140 division could be a likely destination, but it would make sense for him to maybe have a couple more fights at 135, and see that through, and then gradually move on to 140, because that division is packed with some serious fighters. Credit to Mickey Garcia. I personally like the guy. He's a very, very good guy, and it's very good to see him back, back in boxing, where he belongs.
And maybe send him some flowers, I don't know, and some chocolates. Mikey Garcia, big up, mate, big up. So, moving on, this weekend, Chris Eubank Jr. faces Renaud Quinnan this weekend for the IBO World Super Middleweight title, part of ITV Sports' new pay-per-view. Now, Kenneth, what is the American opinion on this IBO World Super Middleweight title?
Well, I can tell you, Frankie, is that it's the IBO. I mean, maybe sometime in the future it'll be considered a legit world championship belt, but with all due respect to the organization, no one ranks it up there with the WBC, WBA, and IBF, and even the WBO, which is now, it took them years, but is now considered legitimate. And as far as Eubank, I think no one knows what's his thing. He certainly talks a good game, but and it seems like the skill is there, but he did lose to Billy Joe Saunders. So, I think we'd like to see him put his money where his mouth is, and Saturday night is not quite doing that.
How about, I've got an idea, how about you and Pascal duke it out for the Pep Talk belt?
How much are you paying us, though? That's the question.
We would say £500 for the pink. It's going to be a pink belt as well. Pink.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Pascal, you can have that.
Dear, oh dear.
That'll be another fragmented title.
And Cameron would be the master of ceremony, I suppose, wearing a pink jacket.
And the pink Tims.
Oh boy.
But Ken, I mean, how do the Americans rate Chris Eubank Jr. in general?
I think, at 160, he's top 5, maybe 6 or 7, top 5, 6 or 7. And like I said, it looks like he's a skilled fighter, but again, he lost to Billy Joe Saunders, and since then, I'm not quite sure what he's done to warrant him placing him at that level. And Ronald Quinlan is not going to be the guy that makes us say, well, you're definitely elite in this division. So I think we need to see a little more from him. The talking is great. I think it's getting him to where it needs to be, whether you love him or hate him. But we need to see some more action too.
Pascal, it looks like many would say it's a formality for Eubank Jr. this weekend. Possibly they're talking about a rematch with Billy Joe in the future. And maybe he's been calling out James DeGale lately, saying that he wants to take out the rest of his teeth.
Yes, of course. I mean, he's been saying that for quite some time. It's very well documented that the two do not particularly like each other very well. It's that interesting, light skin hate, I like to call it. Two light skin guys hate each other.
Drake and Joe Budden, yeah.
Yeah, Drake and Joe Budden, or Drake and Chris Brown, But I mean, look, I personally, I like Chris Eubank Jr. I like him. I think he's a skillful fighter.
He's entertaining as well. Yeah,
he's entertaining. I mean, whether he'll ever be quite as good as his father, I think we need to give him some time. But his father is very much a British boxing legend, and he has a lot to live up to. And I think it's unfortunate for Chris Eubank Jr. to have his father's last name, because a lot of people are criticizing him on the back of his father's success. So, and also are basically also saying that it is because of his father that he's able to have those fights that he shouldn't be having, So I agree with Kenneth, the fight on Saturday. I mean, look, I'll be watching it because I love boxing, so I'll be watching the fight. And but I do not particularly believe that it's a legitimate belt. When is the last time have you heard anybody fighting for a BO belt title?
Well, what about in wrestling though, the NWO title?
Well, it's wrestling. It's entertainment, but. I mean, look. Personally, for me, I think it's a very clever marketing point from the Eubank promotional, arm. They're looking at what is the quickest way that we can fast track our fighter into the world, into a world title fight. Because if Chris Eubank beats the Australian Quinlan, which I believe he will, and he collects the belt, he has a world title belt, the BO belt, which means that for you, Chris Eubank Jr. is able to bring a belt onto the table. He can also talk about fighting some fights with other fighters, including James DeGale and so on. So I think for him, it's important for his Instagram pictures and Twitter pictures to have a belt around the waist and to start negotiating, because unfortunately for Chris Eubank and the Eubank clan, they have a lot of credibility with a lot of promoters in England. If you remember, Frank Warren and even Matchroom were disappointed that they could not make the Triple G fight and other fights. And as our American friend said very well, Kenneth, said that he lost to Billy Joe Saunders. And Billy Joe Saunders was a credible opponent, very good fighter, very good British fighter. We're still yet to know how well he's good at internationally, but he has a recognized, WBO belt, and Chris Eubank fell short. So, how good is Chris Eubank? We'll have to wait and see. Only the future can tell.
But on the other hand, Kenneth, what happens if Chris Eubank actually loses?
Well,
no one's talked about that. I'm just putting it out there.
That'll be worth the pay-per-view price that they're putting on it. That would definitely be a shock. I don't expect that to happen. I don't want to knock Quinlan, but I don't think he's on the level of a Eubank. And he should be able to dispatch him in impressive fashion. But if he loses, we probably won't hear from him for a long time.
Well, Oh, I'm just looking forward to seeing him do that Harlem Shake again. You know, when he does a jab and then he starts doing the Harlem Shake around the ring? That's quality, that is, I tell you.
Yeah, definitely got that from his dad, the showmanship, for sure.
just in closing, Ken, in America, what is the general overall update with Triple G and Canelo? Is it ever going to happen or what?
I think so. I mean, I think we're looking right at it. I know that Triple G's got big fight, I believe, on March 18th or March 11th against Danny Jacobs. Great fight, a solid fight. I like Jacobs a lot. I like him as a person, and I think he's got a great story. But I expect Triple G to win convincingly. Canelo has the fight against Chavez in May. You know, that it is what it is with that fight. Maybe Chavez Jr. surprises us if he
makes weight
and shows up in chicken. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and it's not a skeleton. I don't know how that's going to happen, but Canelo's way too advanced for him. But I think we'll see the fight in September. I've been feeling that for about a year and a half now. I never thought it was going to happen last year or the year before, simply because Canelo's a businessman, Oscar's a businessman, and if people don't, looking back at Oscar's career, it took him a couple years before, when he got to welterweight, before he fought Ike Corte and Felix Trinidad. He wanted to get settled a little bit, and I think that Canelo wanted to grow a little bit, prepare himself a little bit before he stepped in the ring with Triple G, and I think you see it in September.
Triple G, Canelo, September, just putting it out there. That's from Ken's update. Pascal, if it ever happens, who's your money on?
I will certainly go with the gingerbread man, and that is Canelo. I think Canelo is I admire Canelo. I've always been a very good fan of Canelo, and I like his style. I like the way that he fights. He's a very clever fighter, very good technician.
He's made being ginger cool.
He certainly has, yes. And he's a very humble man, and I think that he certainly has what it takes to beat Triple G. Triple G is also very, very, very good fighter, but Floyd Mayweather Sr. called Triple G a brawler, which I think is unfair. I think he's very unfair, but the Mayweathers are very, very funny people. But I fancy Canelo to win, but I think it will be a very good and difficult fight for Canelo. But ever since he lost to Floyd Mayweather, he's just become a better fighter. That certainly has helped him and refocused him. So yes, of course.
Like Triple G says, good boy. Oh dear. Okay, guys, now it's interview time. Our boxing correspondent Shaz, ahead of next weekend's Dove Box Promotions card at York Hall entitled Knights of Thunder, firstly spoke to the man behind it all, Tommy Dove.
Pep Talk UK are joined by an up-and-coming promoter who's been on before, Mr. Tommy Dove. How are you doing, Tommy?
I'm very well, Shaz. How are you?
I'm always well. Looking forward to this cracking card you've got lined up for us. A bit of a treat. Who's fighting on the show?
It's a very, very packed card. Obviously, main event, Tom Little versus Tom Dallas. We've got Ashley Dumetz versus Taylor Jones. We've got Dominic Akinladi back on the bill before he fights for the English title in April. He's going to have a fight against Josh Sandland from up north. We've got Marcus Williams back on the bill. We've got Spiros Dimitriou fighting for an international challenge belt. And we've got a host of fighters on the undercard making debuts. Some have had a little break for injuries or for one reason or another. So it's an exciting card. Lots of 50-50 fights in there and some promising talent coming through as well.
I've got a favourite fight in there. What's yours?
Well, I've got quite a few, but if you had to pick one out, if one stands out, barring the main event, Tom Little and Tom Dallas, it has to be Ashley Dumetz and Taylor Jones for me. That's what I think is going to be the fight of the night, and both have taken this at quite a short, early phase in their career, so fingers crossed they can deliver what we all think they will.
Well, apart from the main event, that's my fight of the night. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you have a cracking show. As always, it's a pleasure. You have a great one, and I'll see you fight night.
Thank you very much, Shaz.
We also heard from some boxers who were featured on the card, such as Ashley Bailey Dumetz, John Harding Jr. and Taylor Jones.
Pep Talk UK are joined by the chap fighting Taylin Jones. It's Mr. Ashley Bailey Dumetz. How you doing, Ash?
Yeah, man, I feel really good. Strong, fit, just ready to go, man. Just counting down the weeks.
Me and Tommy Dove had a quick chat. We both reckon it's going to be fight of the night. You've picked yourself.
Okay.
What's happening, Ashley, man? Take it easy. Get like 10 fights under your belt. Chill out. You're fighting another good fighter. And I'll be honest, I agree with Tommy. It's probably the fight of the night.
I mean, if that's what people feel, I mean, I guess that's what it is. But for me, I was just focused on my training, executing my game plans. Whatever he decides to bring to the table, I'll be prepared for it. Just listening to my trainer, Rich, and just taking everything as it comes. You understand? So, yeah.
Last time around, you had a good little workout at York Hall. You won that fight. You seem to be getting stronger. You seem to be a lot more comfortable with the fight game. You seem to be better in the ring. Things seem to be coming together for you quite nicely.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Definitely improvement, and I feel like I'm settling into the pro game now. And this fight is just another midway fight. Obviously, I'm taking it serious, but I'm confident I'm going to win. So,
fight talk. I love it. For all our listeners that want to give you a follow, if you shout out your social media handles.
You can find me on Instagram at Ash Dumetz, on Twitter Ashley Lionheart BD, and on Facebook at Ashley BD.
Now, one thing I do know is Taylin's a West Ham fan. You're a Gooner, if I remember.
Yeah, that's correct.
It's a London derby.
Yeah, I mean, it's a derby in every sense of the word, man. He's from Essex, I'm from London, South London, whatever it is, whatever makes it more of an atmosphere, gets people, excited, then, it's a good thing.
Well, you've got me excited. May the best man win. We at Pep Talk UK wish you the best of luck for the fight.
Thank you very much, man. Just a shout out to a couple of my sponsors, Energy Fitness Gym in Forest Hill and David Oliver at Fit for Less.
Top man, you take care. Have a great one, brother.
Thank you. You too.
Talk UK are joined by a lad making his debut on the Dove Box promotion undercard. I know him as Pest the Superstar, or Pest. His name is John Harding Jr. How you doing?
How you doing? What's really good, Shaz? I'm just here, feeling good, feeling ready to just, show the electricity when I step in that ring. Just bring that entertainment back into boxing, man. Give people their money's worth when they come and see me in that ring, man. That's what I'm ready to come and show, man.
You're a man of many talents. Boxing's one of them. There's a bit of music. There's a bit of acting involved.
Yeah. It's just one of those things God has blessed me with, man. Growing up, I was always, apart from having a few, fist fights and that, we was always on the corner just rapping to each other. Had a talent for acting also, and I kind of just fused it all into one, and it just all opened the doors, and somehow I've just kept it going. Some people ask me, how do I do it? I don't know. I just think it's just, I'm blessed with it, and I just want people to be inspired that they can't limit themselves to what they want to do with themselves in life. Whatever you want to do, you go and do it.
Now, you're training with champions already.
Yes.
You're in Miguel's gym with your boys. Chamberlain. You got Congo.
Yes, Congo.
You got the others in there that
Richard,
keep up.
Rapport, you know what I mean? It's just like we're just on each other, we push each other, we do those hill sprints, we spar each other, and you know what I mean, when you're around champions, they say who your friends is, shows you who you are, so it can only mean one thing, that I'll be becoming a champion soon also.
Now, for our listeners that want to follow you on social media, what are your handles?
My handles, Pest the Superstar, just follow me on everything, man. That was what I was always known as, a pest, because I'm just everywhere, innit? You see me, I'm a pest in the ring, I'm always training, as a pest. You might see me doing music, you might see me doing my acting. You always see me always active. So I'm just a pest in front of that camera, in front of that industry, always making things happen.
I'll tell you what, I've got no problem saying this right now. I've got a feeling you're a star of the future.
Thank you.
And the road's going to start on the 11th of Feb, Dove Box, where you're going to put someone down, mate.
I can feel it as well, man. I can feel it as well. But the main thing, I just want to show the electricity. You know, I don't really want to go for no quick knockout. I want to show you what I'm capable of and what I can do and entertain and just show the electricity there. You know, show the quick hands, show the movement, show the defense, and just also, you know, inspire others, man. You know, people that know me and my background, inspire, get up, go chase your dreams, go and do it, stand there and face your dreams and, you know, become something of yourself.
Well, we at Pep Talk are going to follow you on this journey. It's going to be a long journey.
Yes,
and
it is.
I got a feeling it may go somewhere near the top.
It is going to go near the top. It's going to go even further, you know, beyond that. I mean, we're talking about world scene, man. We're taking it over. That's the motive. And there's no point, I ain't here just to make up a number. There's be no point me lacing on gloves to exchange punches.
Listen, I know you, boy. They wouldn't let you in Miguel's if you were coming to make up a number. I know the crowd you're with. I know how you ride. You not push yourselves on, and I wish you and all the boys the best of luck.
Yes.
And we at Pep Talk are going to be there fight night.
Whoa,
Go do the B.
Thank you. You know, just look out for me. I'm coming, man. I'm there. I'm coming, man. Thank you very much for having me, Chef.
Cheers for that, brother. Cheers. Have a good day. Bye.
Yes.
Pep Talk UK are joined by a lad making his debut on our podcast, Mr. Tay Lynn Jones. How you doing, Tay?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How's yourself?
I'm always well. Now, you've got a funky nickname. What's your nickname?
My nickname's Tasty, but it's spelled T-E-Y at the beginning. Obviously, after my first name, you know, it's a word commonly used to associate delight, you know, enjoyment, things like that. And it's used quite a lot in boxing, you know, to describe good boxers, like, you know, tasty boxers. So that's what I like to. A few people started saying it when I was younger, when I first started boxing, and obviously it's just grown from there.
Just as long as the other boxers aren't trying to take a nibble out, you hate tasty.
No. Yeah, as long as they don't try and bite me or anything like that, you know, I might be tasty, but yeah, I just don't want to have any chunks missing out of my ears.
I've had a chat with Tommy Duff.
Yep.
He's already billed this as possibly the fight of the night. Mm-hmm. I agree with him wholeheartedly. Ashley Bailey Dumetz, a good fighter. You're a cracking fighter. You're both young lads trying to make a name in the game. Potentially fight of the night.
Yeah, you know, quite a few people have been saying this to me. You know, it just makes me buzz for this night even more. You know, that people are actually looking forward to this fight. And like you said, we're both good fighters, both aiming to get well in the boxing ranks. So yeah, I've got to take him out and get past him to go on to better things. So yeah, no, it's going to be a good learning fight for me and myself. And yeah, I'm excited for it, and I'm excited for how excited people are getting for it as well.
Now, you've got a bit of a footballing background as well, haven't you?
Yeah. Obviously, I support West Ham, best team in England. You know, not Arsenal, but I used to play football at a high standard when I was a kid. So I was playing at teams like Chelsea and Crystal Palace, but knocked it on the head when I was just started out boxing, and decided to do boxing full time.
I like Tasty here, I like Taylor Jones, but I'm going to edit out all that shit he talked about, the best team in the world and all the other shit teams he's played for. There's only one real team, Leeds United. Leeds and Pratt.
I'll let you have Leeds because they're not in the West Ham league as West Ham at the minute.
Now, there's a bit more spice to this fight. Ashley's an Arsenal fan. You're a Hammer. Good old London derby.
Yeah, well, you know, West Ham's a much better team than Arsenal straight away. You know, the first team to beat them at the Emirates, the last team to beat them at Highbury. That would always be known, always be put in history. So yeah, no, it would be a great fight, and obviously that game is a great football game as well. So it'll be a nice match.
Well, I'm looking forward to fight night. If you can let all the listeners know your social media handles, so they can give you a follow.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, my social media is pretty much my name, Taylor Jones, and that's for everything. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, TEYLYNN Jones. So yeah, give me a follow and shout out.
And if you wanna say any final words.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I want to thank my sponsors, especially the ones that have come on board with the TTT this year, and that is Healthy Roots, a restaurant based over in Upminster Park. Lovely foods, you know, it's getting my nutrition right and getting me fueled for the fight. Yeah, I can't find one single complaint about their foods. It's unbelievable meal preps. And then of course Paul at Elite Command Fitness, you know, he's brought me on a lot. I can feel stronger every week. I feel stronger and fitter, and he's brought me on. He's adding that next level to my boxing game. And of course I want to thank my team that's been there from the beginning. Sugar Up, Mickey Norcross at Sugar Up. You know, what they've done for me is just unparalleled. You know, they've helped me a lot. And of course, a new one this year is Ross Martin at Smart Asbestos. You know, he's come on, an old school friend. Glad he's doing well for himself, and now he's trying to help support me to better myself and get a career. And of course, Tick Construction. You know, they're great help. Yeah, they've done a lot for me this year. Well, my whole boxing career, my whole life.
Shout out to all of these guys, because without
and
you...
and Oakfield Clinic, you know, they're always helping me out, getting me a massage, and obviously if I get any twinges or anything, they're always boom there straight on, get me back to 100% fighting fit.
Well, we support anyone that supports boxers, so shout out to all of the guys that you've mentioned. We wish you the best of luck come fight night. May the best man win.
No, thank you, Shaz. Appreciate that. Yourself and you guys at Pep Talk, you know, having a word with me, and I'll see you on fight night.
Lovely. Cheers, pal.
Thank you, Shaz. Nice. Now it's football time, so we're going to talk about some of the elite teams that played midweek. Firstly, the massive news: Arsenal's home implosion to Watford. Pascal, this is really hard to take, mate. I mean, I used to rave in Watford at Bar Reza, Destiny, and all them places, but I never thought they were going to be Arsenal. Ever.
It's terrible.
Should we give up? Should we give up on the Premiership? Should we give up?
I mean, Frankie, you know, I mean, it's just it's a worst nightmare. It's like Nightmare on Elm Street, but just this time it was, you know, Kabul, the ex-Spurs, ex-Tottenham. You know, he was probably reveling.
He scored against Arsenal before in the North London derby. You remember that?
It's certainly, of course, you know, and you know, don't think he hasn't forgotten that he hates Arsenal, you know, and I mean, certainly to give him the goal, you know, was quite concerning at first, but I said to myself, he's only 1-0, you know, Arsenal can come back. But when the second goal went in from Troy Deeney, I mean, shout out Troy Deeney, you know, we met Troy Deeney at the Anthony Joshua Molina fight, so very nice guy, you know. If you remember, we took a picture with Troy, nice fella, so I will not bash him too much today, but, you know, it's just very, very disappointing to give away 2 early goals in such a competitive game, you know. And
do you remember what I said on Arsenal Fan TV? I said that we start too slow and that we're going to get caught out. And what happened?
Absolument, Frankie. It's exactly what happened, you know. And the concern was Arsenal were a bit too nonchalant, you know, very relaxed. You know, they thought they could just, you know, pass their way to the game and win the game. Like, you know, talking about surprise, you know, it was a very big surprise for them. But also, Frankie, the point I want to make is that for me, the games like Burnley, the games like Watford, these are the big games for us. These are the big games for us because these are the games where Arsenal need to maintain concentration and they need to maintain focus. But because, you know, it's Watford, because it's Burnley and because it's Stoke, you know, we feel that we can just turn up and get the 3 points. It doesn't work like that. You know, we'll probably play better on Saturday against Chelsea than we did against Watford. You know, and that's really the annoying thing about Arsenal. You know, is that there's no mental consistency, you know, and there's a mental weakness. And I think that, you know, the smaller teams tend to take the best of Arsenal. You know, if you want 3 points, go to Emirates and, you know, and sending any team, you know, and they'll take the points from Arsenal. It's just really annoying, you know. No, certainly after Tottenham and Liverpool and Chelsea drop points also, you know, it's just very frustrating.
Speaking to Troops today, when I saw him, and he was saying that was the first time Watford had been in the league since 1988. That sums it up. And like you were saying, you start slow, you build up. Aaron Ramsey, yes, both the guys were at his fault yesterday, but your whole team was awful.
They don't know how to defend, the whole team. As a team.
Alexis Sanchez single-handedly created that goal out of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He was the only player that stood out for me for last night, and it seems to be him week in, week out.
Yeah,
of course. The thing. But I don't know. It's really worrying if you're an Arsenal fan. Not for me. I'm loving it.
I mean, Louis. Okay, it's not that worrying because you and I both know that we'll be competing to the very end. But the concern is that we are sick of competing. What the general public, certainly the public that supports Arsenal, want to see. A title challenge that is genuine. And these and the games like Watford, the games like Burnley, and even the games against Manchester City away, the games that we should be winning comfortably, we are making very difficult for ourselves. And Saturday's game, football, as you know, Louis, is very much a psychological game. So because we've lost against Watford, we're now going to Stamford Bridge, knowing that we need the points. Chelsea just have to relax, soak up the pressure, and all they have to do is hit Arsenal on the counter, because Arsenal need the points more than Chelsea do. Chelsea are pretty much happy to go. If Chelsea draw again on Saturday, it's not the end of the world, because you can recuperate those points later on. But for Arsenal, we need the points desperately, and I'm concerned that we'll end up that our midfield and certainly our defense may end up being stretched as a result of trying to press early and to score an early goal. So if I'm brutally honest with you, there's only two outcomes for me on Saturday: is either Arsenal lose or Arsenal draw. I do not see Arsenal winning that game on Saturday, not after yesterday's performance.
Yeah.
Well, if you're looking at what you were saying then about mounting the title challenge, that mentality. Everything you said there, the negativity, for me, it all roots in Arsene Wenger. Wenger is a very, no doubt about it. He has been a fantastic manager, but now he's
past it. Yeah,
he's outgrown the Premier League, and you're not going to win the league under Arsene Wenger. You won't, because he runs. It's not the board; it's Wenger. He built that stadium for him and how he liked it from the ground up. That's all Wenger. He doesn't want to in the transfer market. He doesn't want to help you to compete, and the thing is, you're not going to get it with him because you're going to go. Prime example, Shokran Mustafi.
The general.
Yeah, well, in general, but it's, in terms of getting what you need, instead of getting the business done, Valencia goes, we want 35 million. He goes, okay, here's 21. No, 23. No, 25.
No, Louis, it's 23. 23.1. No. 23.2. No. 23.4. That's what Wenger does.
And you just.
I mean, Louis, certainly, it's sometimes about damage limitations. It's about knowing the true worth of a player. Arsene Wenger has been managing the football club for a very, very long time, and he knows certainly what the true values of players are. Now, a club like Arsenal, being an elite club, I'd like to say this is an elite club, a lot of smaller teams are always going to take advantage of that. They always want to capitalize as much as they want.
But Lacazette is not worth 29 million, because that bid in the summer was a joke, mate.
For me, it doesn't come down to how much Wenger or how much your club thinks the player is worth. It comes down to how much the player means to the opposition club. Prime example is when you went in for Johnny Evans.
Please don't talk about that, please.
No. Tony Pulis valued him at 45 million or 40 million. Because that's the value he had to the club. Because he added to that defence and he made it stronger. So that for me is what you should be looking at. You shouldn't be looking at, I think he's about 21 million. You need to go to them, and if they say, this is the price, if you want to hang a little bit down. Not 10, 12 million pounds down. You start 35 to 40, not 21 to 40. Because you're not going to get the player. It doesn't matter how long Wenger's been in the game. He's not seemed to have learned, to begin with, he was getting some great value signings. Patrick Vieira, Thierry Henry, they're two examples of players where you've gone into the market, you dipped in, you found a gem, it's worked out perfectly. But the thing is now, it doesn't operate like that anymore. Prices are going to be inflated for English players, prices are going to be inflated for inter-Premier League players, prices are going to be inflated for players which are worse because they've been performing that season. But the thing is, and it's another example. You go in for Granit Xhaka, okay? Why would you? The nutcase. Yeah. Why would you go in for a player that had now he's had 9 red cards in 3 seasons at this point now, when he could have spent 5 to 8 million less and side arguably the best central midfielder in the Premier League, in N'Golo Kante.
It doesn't make sense. Does not make sense.
It's stuff like that which Wenger I don't think he seems to be grasping, and that's why you will not win it under him. You need somebody who's going to come in, who's going to be brutal in the market, who's going to be brutal with your team, that fits the philosophy of Arsenal, which is why Simeone wouldn't fit.
But
now, Louis, you guys, you got a well-earned point at Anfield.
I'm going to wait until after Arsenal. If we beat you and go 12 points clear, that's it for me. I think if it's still a single-figure gap, then I still think we're catchable. Because as we saw when we played Tottenham Hotspur, when we could have beaten your record for the most wins on the bounce, we choked. Against you at the beginning of the season, we choked. Against Liverpool, we choked. And against Liverpool last night, we almost choked as well, because I have a feeling they look back at the beginning of the season going, shit, they beat us at Stamford Bridge 2-1. Right, okay, and that was in the back of their heads. A bit like with me, I still have back last season in the back of my head, which is why I'm operating so pessimistically, because I can still see it in court. If we'd lost last night and we lost at the weekend, that's down from 8 points to a maths help me out 2-point gap. It'd be 2-point gap. At the weekend, if you beat us, which is doable, if it all depends on the Arsenal that turns out.
6, yeah.
If it's the Arsenal which came out against us at the Emirates at the beginning of the season, at the end of September, you can win that game. You can do it. If it's the Arsenal that turned up and we beat 6-0 and Wenger's 1,000th game, then you won't win. It all goes down to that, and it all comes down to mentality.
But do you think Chelsea have still got to go through a bit of a rough period, because you guys have been pretty consistent, and there's loads more games left? And the other teams seem to have gone through their worst points of their season.
I think we had it at the beginning of the season. I think that's when we lost to Liverpool and drew with Swansea. I think that was our bad patch and our bad spell. But you're right. With the Premier League, anyone could beat anybody, so you never know what's going to happen. So there's a lot of the potential here for me to go, yes, we could, or no, we couldn't. But it's really difficult to say. For me, if I look at the fixtures, I can't really see, and the form we're in, I can't see us losing to many teams at all. Man City, obviously, I can see beating us. I can still see you beating us. But this is me, like I'm saying, operating pessimistically. We've still got to play Man United away, so that's another game we could lose. But the way we keep our shape, the way we're playing, I think it's okay. The only problem, and I saw it last night, when we had pressure, as soon as Liverpool were right in our faces, we started to panic. We lost our shape. They were carving through us, and we were very lucky not to lose that game last night, and we gained a point. But the worst thing and the most annoying thing about last night for me was the fact that, the most annoying thing about Tuesday night for me was the Wijnaldum scoring when he shouldn't have really been on the pitch either, considering he elbowed someone in the face. So, how he was still on the pitch and scored, who knows? But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. All that matters is the scoreline in the top corner. We drew that game going into Arsenal for the weekend. So, my head and my heart are saying we'll win, but like I said, I've still got almost that little person on my shoulder saying you might lose at the weekend, you might lose. And if we lose, the gap closes, but we still have a comfortable lead of what would be 6 points. So it still would be comfortable.
I just don't see, when it gets to that critical stage, even if Arsenal did win, I can't see Arsenal holding their nerve. I just can't see it. If there were like 5 games to go and it was neck and neck, Chelsea and Arsenal, really, Arsenal to hold on and take the title? Never. They ain't got the bottle, mate, for sure.
Obviously, like I've been saying, you will not win the Premier League under Arsene Wenger.
Well, moving on, West Ham, they got spanked 4-0 to Man City. Now, Louis, talking about contenders, can Man City make a late surge and challenge Chelsea?
No chance. No chance. Manchester City, I've loved watching Manchester City this season, namely because you had the manager, which everyone thought the sun shined out of his arse. Let's be honest. Pep Guardiola come into the Premier League and lose his rag because he can't handle the fact that anyone can beat anyone. There's no Darmstadt and there's no Granada.
And there's no Messi.
Really, and there's Messi. He didn't have Messi at Bayern. So there was only 1 or 2 contenders. I've got the Premier League table up in front of me now. If you look at the teams in and around them, anyone could beat them. We could beat them. Spurs could beat them. You could beat them. Liverpool could beat them. United could definitely beat them. Everton could. West Brom might get a point. On their day, anyone can beat anyone, like I was saying earlier. And Manchester City, he just doesn't have a plan B, in my opinion.
You know, they started with this high pressing ethos, and you know in the Premiership, you try and do that throughout the season, you're going to gas yourself out, and that's what happened.
Maybe he just needs to change up his style. I'm not Pep Guardiola, so I couldn't answer that question of what the plan B could.
So you don't see Man United creeping in? They drew 0-0 with Hull. I don't know, with Man United, I do think the team's gelled. I just got a sneaky feeling, like, how ironic would it be for Mourinho, in Wenger's possible last season in charge, took that final Champions League place?
It would be ironic, it could happen, but, you know, Wenger has that consistency and you lot are really jamming. So basically, I think you'll get there somehow. But, you know, he'll be happy with just getting top 4 again.
Fourth.
But, you know, I think Liverpool, you know, their team is good enough for top 4. They had a great start to the season. Mane's back in the African Cup of Nations as well, such a key, pivotal player for them. And I think he'll bring that back to them. But, you know, Man City, they could completely drop out. Well, I don't understand why they haven't used a January transfer window to go and buy some fullbacks, because they really struggle in the fullback position. They could have quite easily, for example, gone to Spurs and said, right, here's 150 million quid, we'll take your fullbacks. Spurs easily gone, yep, awesome, thank you. He could have dipped into other leagues, gone, I want this guy. Go out and get them. Because he would need that to really start challenging. But I think he's still got the mentality of, yeah, we'll be fine, we'll get there, we'll be fine, we'll get there. He might not get there, he might not.
I think he's used this first year as his sort of education to find out about the Premiership and kind of assess what he needs in the summer. I expect them to come back big time. They're going to buy players for sure, which is why as an Arsenal fan I'm so disappointed, because for me it's potentially 2 seasons now that's going to be that we have the opportunity to win the Premiership. Last season for sure, and this season as well. Well, Spurs, they slipped up again, 0-0 draw with West Brom. But moving on, that's our roundup of the Premiership. Now moving on, we're going to talk about the non-event, the transfer window. It was absolutely dead.
It was dead.
A couple of wastemen came in, and that was about it. I think the biggest thing was Payet moving back to Marseille. Your boy Ivanovic went to St. Petersburg, and not really much. Gabardini went to Southampton, and Snodgrass is a good player. I think he went to West Ham. And apart from that, Pascal, do you think we should just scrap the window now? Pascal?
Oh, sorry, can you hear me now?
Okay, alright. Yes. Pascal?
Sorry, no, Louis, I'm not angry, by the way.
Your hands are not on your shorts, are they?
No, you know, Louis is very passionate, you know, he's got that Latin spirit, which I completely, you know, empathize with, you know, and I very much, you know, take your points on board. But, you know, to answer your questions, Frankie, I think that the transfer window in January is an important part of the season, and I think that we should keep it going. But interestingly, for some reason, this year there's not been much activity. You know, certainly I expect Manchester United to use our opportunity to bring in more players. You know, having had a very difficult start to the season, and they've chosen not to do that. I think it is because we're going to see a very interesting summer. Arsenal, but of course we've got the return of Danny Welbeck. Cazorla is on his way back also. So you know, Wenger decided to, you know, against that. Actually, on Abcom, Chuba Abcom has not gone, I believe, to Bournemouth on loan. Or he's gone to not Bournemouth. He's gone to Brighton. You know, on the season loan deal, and also we've got the other player, midfielder, Gideon Zelalem, sorry, he's gone to the Dutch league as well, to the Eredivisie. So from an Arsenal point of view, you know, we just given a youngster some opportunity to play some good football. But you know, it's apart from Dimitri Payet returning to Marseille, there's not been much going on. You know, it's been very, very quiet, and I certainly think it's because the business will be done in 6 months' time.
So Louis, Payet, hero or villain?
I think it's difficult to say. There are two sides of the story. I mean, for me, I sit on the West fans and West Ham side, where they're saying, you know, he refused to turn up for training, he separated himself. He was really trying to angle for a move. But on his side, his wife clearly wasn't happy in London, and he wanted to go home, just to make his family happy. So there are two sides to every story. I mean, if we were to leave our jobs tomorrow because we didn't like it and we wanted something better for our families, I don't have, unless there's some illegitimate child I don't have. But it's a situation which is fairly simple to analyse, and you would obviously do the best for your family.
Of course, yeah.
But I think it's really there are two sides to every story, like I'm saying. But hero and villain, I think it's too difficult to separate the two.
Yeah, I'm not sure about calling him a villain because the man's taken a pay cut and he hasn't gone to China, he hasn't gone to like a bigger team. He's just gone back to Marseille, and the man was homesick. He just went about it in the wrong way. That's all I'd say. But otherwise, he was great in the Premiership, man. Some of them free kicks were serious.
He is a player which, to embrace the Premier League and to play to such a standard is absolutely amazing. Especially as he's aging as well, which I guess could be. He's gone back to Marseille now. He's hit 30 now. Maybe Marseille was where he was most comfortable. Obviously, he had a similar situation when he left Lille. He went out, started kicking up a fuss, and that's when he got his move to Marseille. And Marseille was at his happiest. And for West Ham as well, they've made a profit on him. They bought him for 12.5, and they've sold him for 25. So they've made a profit on him, and they recouped some of that money they paid for Snodgrass. So at the end of the day, it's not all bad.
Happy days. Okay, guys, that's our time. I'd like to thank our guests, Pascal, Kenneth, and Louis. Join us again next week for another Pep Talk UK podcast. Thank you.